when she's not around, 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 and all I want to do is sit and wonder. She's not around.
Welcome back to the NWA Cane Corso podcast, where we talk everything dog. This is an all-breed podcast. Tonight, Mama, here comes that man. Let me get something. I know we're going to need it tonight. The number one Cane Corso breeder in the nation. I'm holding this up now because I know what's happening. Anytime I say this, boy, it really stirs people up. The number one Cane Corso breeder in the nation is on the NWA Cane Corso podcast tonight. Mr. Tony Scandy, what's going on, my friend?
What's going on, Joe? How's it going, sir?
Oh, man, I'm in it to win it. I'm in it to win it. Glad to have you back.
Glad to be back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, everybody. I don't think neither one of us need an introduction. Y'all been anticipating this when y'all been asking for this one, where Tony Scandy will answer questions from the crowd, questions that were submitted to me and the crowd tonight. So we're gonna jump into it. Well, Tony, do you got anything to say before we even start, bro?
No, I'm good. I just wanted to try to catch all the questions. You know, I can go a little over an hour, whatever you got time for.
Okay, yeah.
Don't want to tie everybody up for 2 hours, but whatever we got time for, you know what I mean?
Right. Okay. All right. So we'll get right to them. We'll get to the Facebook questions. But thank you everybody who support us. Tony, before I even started this podcast, I've been knowing Tony. Before I started this podcast, this wasn't nothing planned, generated, nothing like that. For the podcast, we'll all be podcast. For us to be talked about to be small guys, no subscribers, everybody watches for some reason. I don't to not have any subscribers, everybody watches, but and we appreciate everybody. Make sure you check out Eternal Animal if you need any kind of product, whether it be breeder supplies, pet supplies. Look in the description. I'm partnering with that channel. I expect good things with Eternal Animal. All right, and be sure to check out Tony's podcast, the Cane Corso Academy on YouTube, and they also have a Facebook page, the Cane Corso Academy on Facebook. All right, Tony, here's the first one. Michelle Testa. Can Tony discuss more of what the structure is in the breed, the best type of dog, and what he looks for specifically as far as structure and temperament? Is form following function a priority in your breed?
All right. Good question. Good question. All right. So form following function should be a priority in every breed, period. Not just this breed. A dog can't function properly unless it has the correct form. Correct structure is extremely important to movement, everything about it. The power, the reach, the drive. Without good structure, you got a bad dog. You know, a dog that can't move. It's just, you got a pet. You know what I mean? There's a lot of pets out there. I always say it, and unfortunately, a lot of these breeders out there that are claiming to be top breeders in the country and the nation, they're breeding a bunch of pets. You know, you can look at it. You can look at their websites. You can look at their Facebooks. You can see a bunch of dogs, horrible top lines, horrible hocks, horrible head type, eyes with, you can stick 2 quarters in each one of them like a gumball machine. Just a lot of horrible stuff out there, you know what I mean, that people are breeding. So, everybody in all breeds should be looking for, great structure. Temperament, we know temperament. I talk about it all the time.
Oh,
First and foremost, man. First and foremost, without good temperament, you don't have a quality dog. And when I say good temperament, I'm talking about stable, confident, and fearless.
Absolutely.
Too many dogs out there scared to death of their own shadow, scared, fearful, timid, shy. They're in the ring, the show ring, and these handlers. I feel bad for some of the handlers. They're getting paid top dollar, and these breeders keep sending them their garbage, their dogs out there, and they're making the handlers look like shit. I like the handlers that won't take that stuff. They tell them, no, listen, I'm not going in the ring with that. You're not going to make me look bad. You know what I mean? Feel bad for some of the handlers, though, because they got to take it because that's how they get paid. That's how they make their money. So if they don't take that unstable basket case in the ring that somebody's dumb enough to spend money on and put in the ring, or they're willing to be embarrassed. You know what I mean? I guess I can't blame them. It's what they do to get paid. But if I was a handler and that's what I did, I would never take that stuff in the ring. It's an embarrassment to me. It's an embarrassment to the breed. Biggest problems out there, what else was the question? Discuss more on the structure. Structure, you just got to look at the standard. It'll take me forever to sit and tell you that. That's a whole podcast in itself. But, what I tell people to go on, look at the AKC standard, look at the FCI standard, FCI 343. Try to blend them together. You can get a great dog that meets both standards. There's some faults on all the standards. Every standard got a little bit of a different issue. But you just got to work in between that. I've been working in between those for my whole 37 years. I never just bred to what an AKC standard is or ICCF back in the day, because AKC didn't exist for our breed. So you just got to, follow that standard, and try to get it to be able to fulfill step in a show ring anywhere, whether it be Europe, Italy, France, United States, it doesn't matter. My thoughts are the FCI 343 should be adopted all over the world. Unfortunately, we don't do that here. That's a breed club choice. That's a choice of breed club people that are running it. Actually, our breed club, they try to change the standard all the time. They're trying to change the standard again. A standard is in set for a reason. A standard is in place for a reason, not to change it to meet the new style of dog that you're breeding in your backyard because you can't get it right. You know what I mean? You want to change the temperament. You want to change the height. You want to change the length. You want to change the color. I had heard that they're talking about putting in that black with brindle points, the black with tan, the blue and tan, the Rottweiler, and that's what it is, influence with the Rottweiler. But if that gets into the standard, God forbid, man, just insulting. People just destroying the breed club, destroying the breed, and they're a part of it.
That's only in America, though, right?
Yeah, they don't do that shit in other countries. They got one standard, 343, period. They follow it. Now they don't follow it to the T. One of the biggest mistakes in the 343 is weight. Their standard says up to 110, give or take 10%. That 10% takes you to 121, and that's it. And they got all kind of dogs out there, 135, 138, 140s, you know what I mean? And they're champions. If you ask the old timers, they'll tell you, listen, we don't breed for a dog that's 110 pounds. None of us do. It's not what we want. Females are talking about 80 and 90 pounds. It's not what they breed for. But, it says it in the standard. So that's something that they should definitely modify and, bump that up a little bit. Even if it said 125, give or take 10%, 135, give or take 10. But, they're champions over there. Tons of them are 125, 135, 140. There's not a bunch of them that are 110 pounds, I can tell you that, or under 100.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
All right. That's no standard is perfect,
Right. Okay. Let me get you the next one, Tony.
Okay.
Nutrition recommendations.
Nutrition recommendations. It's a great subject. It's another whole podcast to be able to tell somebody that. You just did one with a dog food guy.
Kinetic.
Yeah, exactly. We just did one too. Ours will be getting released, I think, tomorrow. And watch that show. I tell people to watch that show because it breaks it down. A lot of people don't even understand how to read ingredients of the dog foods. They're just looking to buy food that's popular, that everybody feeds this, everybody feeds that. Unfortunately, a lot of the everybody feeds this and that have been the dog foods that have gotten recalls, caused serious problems all over the country in different breeds.
Big brands too. Big brands like we know, like one of the things we have dealt with where we moved from a food a few years back was fertility issues.
I know right food you're talking about. I was feeding the same shit. Yeah. It was good for a while until they sold out. These companies promise they're not going to sell out, and then they sell out to a big company. And as soon as that big company steps in, they're like, all right, we just paid $1 billion or a couple $1 million, and let's get our profit back. What kind of garbage could we throw in this food to substitute the quality stuff that's been in the food? They don't have to tell nobody. They don't have to report it. They don't even have to report to sale. Nobody knows. So until a couple years in and people are having all the problems and issues with the foods, you don't know what happened. And then you figure it out. You figure it out and it gets exposed. There's shit all over the internet people can read about dog foods and recalls and real stuff, I mean, way back, and I hate to say a name, but I got to use it. Back way back, Diamond Dog Food. It killed dogs all over the country, all over the world, and it was killing dogs. And it was they were buying cheap ingredients. I think it was some rice or corn they bought from like China or Japan or somewhere, because it was cheap, and it had a aflatoxin in it. No, a spirilla fungus. Had a spirilla fungus in the food, and when it was cooked, it turned into an aflatoxin. It was wiping the dog's livers out, kidneys out. It was destroying them. I watched it in front of my own eyes. I seen it. So, shit like that. You got to feed a food that's going to use the same ingredients. It's all on that podcast. Watch those podcasts. Are going to be great for people.
Right. All right. Here's the next one. Robin, when we say that this isn't the breed for everyone, what are some preparations and research that people need to know before getting a Cane Corso?
It's like a double-edged sword in that question. It's a great question. Robin's a great person. Great lady in the breed. Been around for a long time.
She is a great person. Yes,
incredible lady. And she's going to know. She's going to laugh when I say this. So it says, when we say this isn't the breed for everyone, here's the problem. Which Corso? Which one are you talking about?
Right.
Because you're talking about mine. You're talking about somebody else's. You're talking about somebody else's, because, like a good, well-bred Corso could be the breed for everyone that's understanding they're getting a working dog, a large breed, a dog that's bred to protect, you know what I mean? But these dogs bred the right way can be great family dogs and great guardians that are stable and confident and fearless. Now, when we say this isn't the breed for everyone, now when you're talking about these other dogs, the unstable dogs a lot of these people have, those ain't good for no one. You know what I mean? So those aren't good for anyone. I mean, what you just said is right there. It fits the whole entire line of those different dogs, the whole entire breeders' kennels. They shouldn't be selling to anybody. People shouldn't get them. So those lines and those breeders, they don't have dogs that are the breed for anyone, let alone everyone. So basically what she's saying, though, I think the part she's talking about is the majority of it's not for everyone. It's not a Cocker Spaniel. It's not a Dalmatian. You know what I mean? It's not a Labrador. Still want to have good, confident dogs with stable temperaments, but they got to be able to protect. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. Everyone, I see everybody coming in. Hey, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to both channels, NWA Cane Corsos and the Cane Corso Academy. Go subscribe. Go show your support. You know what I mean? Okay, let's get to the next.
I'll finish the question too. Go ahead and read the rest of that. So,
which one?
Her question. Read the end of that. The second sentence.
Okay, what are some preparations and research that people need to know before getting a Cane Corso?
Biggest thing I tell people is, it's a large breed, a dominant breed. It's a cocky dog, supposed to be confident and fearless. One of the biggest preparations that I would tell people to do is, read some books, learn about, protection breeds, read books on like Shepherds, Dobermans, Rottweilers. It's the same type of breed. Read books on working breeds. That's how you can prepare yourself a lot, get some knowledge before you jump in and get a Corso. And let's see, and research that people need to know before getting a Corso. The biggest research they need to know is to research their breeder, research who they're going to get a dog from, research the longevity of how long they've been around, research what their kennel is known for. I mean, unfortunately, there's kennels that are known for, like myself, like some of the most stable dogs in the world. There's other kennels that are just as big as me or bigger than me, have 3 times, 4 times the dogs I have, that are known for the most unstable dogs in the world. So
yeah,
your breeders and
right.
Go visit, get your hands on, not just one dog. I know there's breeders out there that are doing this little trick that they do. They have a dog that they have in the house, one dog, and they let you meet that dog, one dog, and it takes a little while for you to be able to pet that dog, and it's their top show dog, and it still takes a little while because, and they'll tell you, he's outgoing, but it takes time. He's only that good because he's been really pushing them all over the show circuit is the only reason he's like that. But, I really can't take you in the kennel. You really can't put your hands on any of the other dogs. Don't really get too close. I can't turn them out with you and let them loose. That means they got a bunch of unstable shit that they shouldn't be breeding. You know what I mean? It's just, It's not stability. It's unstable. And some will say, oh, they're protective breeds. Those aren't protective. Those are unstable basket cases that want to kill you because they're scared of you. You know, it's fear, aggression, shit like that. Visit kennels. If you can't get your hands on them, get out of there.
That's
you
right.
can't pet them, get out of there.
Got you. Hey, the Instagram people, man, bring your comments over to YouTube because I can't bring them over from here from Instagram. So if you don't mind coming over to YouTube, putting in your comments, questions, let's go to the next one. Cayenne Buchanan.
Okay.
What's up, bro? Maybe he has been asked, but number one, how did he find out about the Corso?
I'll go one by one. So how I found out about the Corso was way back when I was like 18, 19 years old. I had Rottweilers and I was looking to try to get some of the best Rottweilers in the country. A buddy of mine told me that, hey, man, you got to go get this book, Dog Fancy, Dog World, Dog USA. Go get that book and you can look in there. They got some of the top breeders. If they're in there, there's some of the top breeders. You know, they can look at it. You can maybe import something or you can get something right here. We have great dogs in America. I got those books, got every one of them, and I come across a breed called the Cane Corso. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, man. This is an Italian breed? I'm Italian too. You know, I don't know if I want this German Rottweiler anymore, man. This is
right.
Really impressive looking dog. And, you know, what you read about it, when you talk to the guys about it, it's a similar breed, you know, bred for the same purposes. You know, it's just a really badass dog. And it, I went, you know, got a couple and I just switched right over. It didn't take, but looking in that book, you know, was that the right reason? Maybe not. And here's another thing. While I was looking in that book, I can say this.
Uh-oh, Tony, you froze up. I think somebody might have called him. Keontae, I got you. Tony, I think you might have froze up. I'm going to kick you out. Come back in if you can hear me. Oh, no, you came back in.
Okay, yeah, I stopped talking too. We were both gone. So I researched all these different rare breeds, the Bordeaux, every single one of those breeds. And, you know, with my OCD, I made a checklist about all the breeds. I'm like, you know, hey, here's why I wouldn't get this one. You know, the Bordeauxs are cool as hell to turn on hooch dog, but do I want a dog slobbering all over that can't move for shit, that's, you know, that's non-athletic, that just drip it, that's a wet mouth breed? Nah, I don't want that, man. Nobody's going to want that. Who wants that? But they're sweet dogs. I'm not going to knock the breed because they're a cool breed. The Recessive, you know, it's a fighting dog. It's bred to fight. That's what it was bred for. It was supposed to be the ultimate fighting dog of the Canary Islands. So did I want one of those? Why would I want something that's going to fight? I'm not interested in a fighting dog, you know. I got out of that, didn't want no part of that. You know, just researched all of them, and there was all negatives. There was zero negatives for me with the Corso at all until I got into them. Until I got into them.
Right.
Then I learned what kind of scumbags were out there and that they'd sell anything and they're crossbreeding shit and, you know, it's all kind of crazy.
Yeah. I remember you saying on your podcast, you said you said, you know, you a street guy. You from the streets of Young Times, Ohio.
Right.
And when you got into dog breeding, you found out it wasn't no different
it was worse.
People.
It was worse.
Yeah.
So I thought it's gonna be a great thing and all these nice people and there's nice women. I mean, women aren't cutthroat, women aren't ruthless, you know. It's gonna be a great thing. And 6 months in, I was like, holy shit.
Right.
This is horrible. Like, these people are cutthroat. It's all about getting your money. They don't give one shit about you or the breed. And that's what it was, man. It was just a big monopoly to get your money, lies, deception. It was like being in the streets and worse. You know what I mean? And people you would never expect. It woke me up. It taught me a lot. You know what I mean?
Right.
One of the other things that I'll go back to Robin's question that I would tell her, one of the things to prepare people, don't trust everybody. Do not trust all these people. Do not trust all these breeders that you talk to. 90% of them, well, let's not say 90, good 80% of them, con artists, liars, you know, scammers, just terrible people, man. It's
bullies, man, shock jocks. It's everybody's in these dogs.
It's horrible.
Yeah, it's
and don't exclude the women.
No,
don't exclude the women. Some great women, some great men, but there's some ruthless women out there, man.
Yeah, they're like Medusa.
Some of the worst are the women.
Yeah,
I hate to say that, man, because I'm a respectful person. I don't ever talk bad about women. You know, never. It's not something I do.
Yeah.
But if you knew the stories, you'd understand.
Okay, so number 2, what breeds did you have prior?
Breed I had prior was the Rottweiler. Yep, I said that in the last. I covered that in the last question.
Okay. And number 3, and I'm coming from a pit bull staff Staffy point of view, if you throw recessive colors like blue and blue fawn, do they also throw what we call in my breed red, chocolate, or champagne? Or
No, those colors don't exist in the breed. Well, you get red. There is a red with a black mask.
What about that chocolate mahogany?
Chocolate mahogany, here's the thing. It's not in the standard at all. You'll see blacks that look chocolatey. It's not acceptable. That stuff you should just throw out of the ring, get out of your program. They'll look like liver almost.
You're talking about the seal color?
Seal color, liver color. You'll see all of different shades of it. It's issues. It's a problem. There's an issue. You don't want nothing to do with it. Get it out. Even the champagne. There was the thing you're talking about, the mahogany, Joe. Morgano, they call it. It's right. A real color, man. It's a real color from way, way back in history. But it's not something that anybody, wants to put in a breeding program. Some people use them. That's their business. You know what I mean? Like, I owned one before. I had a buddy of mine sent me one up. Really good dude, good breeder buddy of mine. I never bred it, never used it, but I loved it, having it on my yard. Like, to me, it's a piece of history, but not to put in a breeding program for me. Same thing with them straws. There's people out there with the straw bullshit.
Yeah.
That's a contamination of other breeds. It's a mix of a Marlboro Bruzy.
Right.
There's no such thing as a straw Corso. They don't exist. You know what I mean? They're not in the standard at all.
So they're not supposed to be, you're not supposed to breed for that, but obviously it's people that's are.
People will puppy mill anything. It's the simple answer to that. People will puppy mill anything, and anything they can get people to believe that they don't know better than to believe. There's people out there breeding that white shit left and right, that straw, white, whatever the hell they want to call it, and mass producing them and taking advantage of a lot of people, charging crazy numbers. You know what I mean? There's something that you couldn't. I'd give you money to get it off my yard. Get it out of here. I don't want to do with this shit. I produced it before, way, way back 20-some years ago. I had one. A buddy of mine in New Jersey had one. So here's something I can tell you. Is a story I can tell. People love to hear a story like this. There's all these people out there breeding this straw dog like it's something exclusive, like it's some great thing. Every Italian breeder out there in history, they got them all the time. Respectfully, they got them out of their program. They wanted nothing to do with them because it's not in the standard. I didn't understand why they wanted nothing to do with them at some point, because it was pretty cool. But, they say, oh, you're going to have skin problems. They're terrible skin, terrible coats. It's too light. There's no sun protection. I just thought they were full of shit. You know what I mean? So what I did, guess what Knucklehead Tony did 20 years ago? I'm 20 years ago beyond all these people that are doing that shit now. I put them together and I said, I want to prove this out this color. What can I get? Let me see what I'm going to get. I'm going to bet it's going to work just like blue, like a recessive, like the dilute, the blue gene where recessive you put on both sides. Yeah. Bred 1-to-1 in the whole litter, straw, the whole litter, every puppy. It's nothing exclusive. I did it 20 years ago. And I sold them, and I charged people, and they paid big money because it was something different. End up with skin and coat issues on all of them, and that's what all these people were having. Everybody got out of them. Everybody didn't want nothing to do with them, no part of them. And here's the thing: even back then, it wasn't something in the standard. It wasn't something. Should we have bred it? In all honesty, no. I'm going to fault myself. I did it too. I'm guilty of it too. But I was smart enough to get away from it and stop. And I just want to preserve the breed. If you want to preserve the breed, and if you're a real preservation breeder, and you're a real Corso lover, you wouldn't breed that stuff. You'd get right out of it. You know what I mean? And they're breeding it, mass producing it because they get a bunch of new people, and you can't call them idiots. The older people that have been in for a while, if they buy them, they're idiots because they know better. But the new people, they're victims. The people out there buying that, that straw shit and that white shit or whatever you want to call it, those are victims. Those breeders that have these big websites specifically for those colors, I feel bad for them. You know what I mean? And they're getting hammered for big, crazy money. And for a dog that's really, and it's a crossbreed. It's a Marlboro Bruzy cross is where that color came in at. They know that. All of Italy knows it. That's why they don't mess with them. That's why they don't breed them over there. Why are we thinking we're special? We're going to breed them over here because they're able to take advantage of people and get a bunch of money.
Might well get a bulldog.
That's it. Yeah, there you go. It's supposed to be white.
All right. Cindy Lovejoy.
Okay.
Areas of improvement. Discussing specific areas of improvement, goals, past and present. She wants you to address for you and a community. For you personally, or the dogs, or the Cane Corso community, or your business, for all of the above. Okay, number one.
So goals, my personal goals, past and present, was to be the number one breeder in the world, produce the best Corsos in the world in the past, in between the past and the present and the future, not just the past and present. I want to be the best. I want to have produced more champions than any breeder in the world. And I have over 300 now. I don't even count anymore. It's useless to keep counting. You know what I mean? But that's my goal, is to be number one with that. My goal has always been to have the best temperaments in the world and to better the breed. And my goal has always been to continue to get better and better and better. And there's never a standstill. It's always able to get better and better and better. I just put a dog's picture up, Joe. I don't know if you're able to share it, but a dog, Sarge, 37 years in. This dude's a monster, man. He is a badass Corso. He is something that, all over the world, this is what people dream of having. I got it, and I'm using him, and he's producing incredible. That's my goals. He is my goal, and that's what I've been working towards. I've had a lot of badass dogs over the years. In my time, I've been able to successfully have some of the best dogs in the world at all times, some of the best stud dogs in the country at all times. Even in the world, I ship semen all over different countries. Sent a lot of stuff to Australia. All of my semen is prepared to be able to ship anywhere in the world. So, that's always been the goal. So you go ahead with the next question, number one.
Okay. What are some of your past areas of improvement? What challenges did you face with each? What was your resolutions for each? What were your results, and what effect did said results have? Okay,
so some of the challenges that I faced, I've been in this longer than most people. A lot of these new people have been alive. So that's how long I've been doing it. So 37 years ago, I'm sorry, 37 years ago, not 47, 37. I ain't that old. For all those years way back in the beginning, the biggest challenges that I faced was the liars. These people selling you stuff and lying to you, putting them in the breeding pen, breeding them, putting them together, and producing a litter, and seeing dogs coming out that look like Rottweilers, look like Neapolitans, look like pit bulls, and realizing and knowing I got scammed. These people are scumbags. They lied to me. This is what's going on in my whelping box. It's absolutely what's going on in their whelping box. But way back then, they made a standard on their own, and they made it to meet. It's the same shit they're doing now, trying to change standards to meet what they're breeding in their backyard. That's what they did. They made a standard to meet all the crosses that they made to allow for this and allow for that. So the challenges way back then that I had were those challenges of how to get better dogs, how to breed better dogs from, and I hate to say the word, the garbage that they've dealt us, you know what I mean? But that's what they did. Mike Satilli Sr., Mike Satilli Jr. just did a little podcast. He don't lie. He admits, hey, my dad did this. He crossed this. He crossed that. He crossed Rottweiler. He crossed Pitbull, crossed Neo. That's a challenge to get to the point that I was at even back then, and years after, and now, starting with that kind of shit. I mean, it's a miracle, But we had what did we do to beat the challenge? We got rid of all that. We got rid of it. We took it out of the programs. I myself personally got rid of it, sold it as family pets. A lot of these other breeders, they just continue to sell it to the next guy and take advantage of the next guy. I made it a stopping point. I stopped it. I didn't want that to keep going. They still do it. These breeders now today still breeding that black and tan. I just seen a dog the other day on the internet, a champion male, black with brindle points. It's laughable. It's embarrassing. And the breeder that did it, she's a pretty cool lady, but I'm like, man, what's wrong with you? You sold it to more than likely she sold that dog to somebody that she never thought was going to be interested in showing the dog. Similar story to the other breeder that sold the lady the dog with the white dot on its head. Totally inexcusable to even sell that dog with breeding rights. It's in the show ring, the one with the white dot, the big white dot on the head.
Remember that it was a
white dot on the head.
Blue dog. Yeah, I remember.
There you go. Yeah, it's an embarrassment. It's embarrassing to the breeder, embarrassment to the owners. Same thing. This lady's out there, got a black dog with brindle points. And here's the thing. Plutt and David had brindle points. It's not in the standard. It's not in the FCI standard. It's not acceptable. Putting it in the ring, getting a championship out of it. I would bet that the people decided after they owned it, oh, we're interested in showing now. We really love the dog. So she lets them do it and lets them put it in there. So she even made a comment in the picture. Yep, and I know it got brindle points, and I really don't care, this and that. Like, probably should have left that alone. It's not comical to anybody else that's educated. And she is educated, man. It's just, why would you put that dog with somebody to put in the show ring? You're trying to develop a name as a respectable breeder, and you put a dog in the show ring with brindle points. It's not respectable. It's embarrassing. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay, let's go to the next one. Eric Montgomery. Damn it, excuse me.
Montgomery, I got you.
Yeah, sorry, damn. I'm from the country. I can't say the most city names. What's up, Eric? That's my guy. What's his opinion on all the paper hanging? What's his opinion on the Super 6? What's his? What you want me to just do one by one or what?
You could go through the whole thing first.
Okay. What's his opinion on all the paper hanging? What's his opinion on the Super 6? What's his opinion on the traditional dogs versus today's dogs? What's his opinion on what people call Hypertype dogs? I could go on and on.
Good questions, and we could all go on and on with all that. I mean, it's just, here's the thing. We're 37, 38 years into this since the dog's been brought over or whatever, even a little longer than I've been in them. What's his opinion of the paper hanging? I mean, they did it. They did it back then. It's something I frown on. If the people that are doing it now and the people that have done it since way back in the beginning, when those people, I mean, why they were doing it, who knows? It's insulting. You know, they're destroying the breed. They're ruining the breed. They don't know what's behind the dogs. You know what I mean? So paper hanging is a horrible thing. It's inexcusable. Something I would never do. I would never recommend anybody to do it. It ruins your program. You don't know what you're working with. If you're going to hang some shit on a dog and you're going to breed that, you're passing around and people don't know what they're really working with. It's something that still goes on today. Even in Italy, you know, like a lot of the Italian breeders now know that us, Russians, everybody knows about what dogs are contaminated with epilepsy. They can't sell them anymore. Nobody will buy those dogs. They're in America. They're all over different countries. People know it. So what was I told by a big-time Italian breeder who actually passed away, unfortunately, not too many years ago, Alberto Veronese, he said, Tony, you got to be careful now, man, because you don't want to touch some of this stuff. What they're doing is they know that you guys know now. So they're taking clean lines and they're taking papers off of clean stuff, papering on the epileptic dogs and sending them all over the country. So unfortunately, those clean lines that we thought were all clean, they're going to show epilepsy in a couple of years because that greedy breeder or greedy person didn't want to change their program. Instead, they just want to change the paper. So they destroyed their bloodlines. It's unfortunate, man. You got to be careful as hell with what you attempt to mess with. Paper hanging is still going on. It's inexcusable. Anybody that ever thinks that they know that somebody hung papers on something, reach out to the AKC. You know, file the dispute. Let them get their dog's DNA tested. Check it. They'll get thrown out. They'll never register a dog the rest of their life. It would be great to catch these people. So that's my opinion on the paper hanging. What's my opinion on the Super 6? Here's the thing, man. They were a huge part of history. Do I really even have an opinion on them? Do they make a difference in anything that's going on today? Nah, not at all, man. Nobody really cares about those dogs anymore. Nobody talks about those dogs anymore. It's a thing of the past. Were those dogs anything that could do anything right now or even, 20 years ago in the ring and compete with what we have and how far we've developed way past that stuff? They couldn't touch them, man. There's some people out there that are still working with that stuff, chasing those old lines, supposedly. You remember the video we did with the dude said he got him from the Amish breeder?
Right.
He's chasing that stuff. The
Right.
shit that he has, if, there's not a person in the world would want that stuff in their yard for the temperament-wise, for the look-wise. The heads are terrible. They look like pit bulls. Their structures are horrible. Like it's something that it's way in the past. It's something that nobody would ever want anything to do with unless somebody's extremely uneducated or that's all they have. So they want to start a podcast to promote that kind of stuff like it's the greatest shit in the world. It doesn't even have AKC papers, that shit.
Right. So and one thing about that last podcast, that gentleman you talked about, I can give him credit for doing one thing.
Telling the truth.
Tell the truth. Yeah.
He breeds garbage.
And then he put in a bunch of mixed and everything. Yeah. So
you
can give him credit for that.
Yeah.
You know
Telling the truth. Hey, nobody could come by him. I keep him in a building.
Yeah.
They can't protect my family because they're locked up outside. There's something that I'd love for you to read. I'd love to show it if you could show it. There's a thing that I think I sent it to you out of the book. It was out of the Kohler method of guard dog training. And it's something that I've been saying for many years. I can see if I could find it in my phone.
Yeah, let me look.
You know what I'm talking about? Where the guy talks about the different type of dogs.
Yeah.
He talks about a certain type of dog. And what he says is, this type of dog is a useless dog.
Okay.
That shit's useless. I've been saying it for years.
Yeah, we talked about that one day. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, it's something to show to people. I'll keep going while you're looking for that.
Right.
So we're not holding them up. So what's his opinion of the traditional dogs versus today's dogs? It depends on what today's dogs you're talking about. You know what I mean? What breeder? A lot of the different breeders got different looks, different types. Was there some decent older traditional dogs? Decent. Would it be able to compete today, this day and age? Not a chance. Not a chance we'll be able to compete. So today's dogs, far superior in looks, far superior in structure, far superior in head type, top lines, everything is superior. Their temperaments are way extreme superior. The traditional dogs, unfortunately, back then, those dogs, they had horrible temperaments, man. A lot of horrible, unstable temperaments. A lot of them were fearful. A lot of the temperaments were aggressive out of fear. Fear-motivated aggression is the worst type of aggression that you can have in any breed. So in my opinion, like, would I want any of that stuff? If somebody would give it to me for free and we could bring any of those dogs back and recreate them, would I want them? No, not at all. I wouldn't do anything with them. Wouldn't touch them. I'd just be going 30, 40 years backwards. You'd be going light years backwards. Who would want to do that? It would be purposeless. People that praise on those traditional dogs from way back, it's just because that's all they have. They don't have any quality. If you got a yard full of that shit, you're going to talk about that shit like that shit's good. Shit stinks. It's what it is. Shit stinks, and I call it shit, unfortunately.
Right.
Next question. What's his opinion on what people call the hypertype dogs? Hypertype dogs is a boxer. It's a boxer type, round eye, too short of a muzzle, biconvergent. They're no good. They're useless. A lot of people brought them into the country. A lot of people used them. I actually got accused before. But actually, that idiot on that podcast tells people I got hypertype dogs. I don't own a hypertype dog. I've never owned a hypertype dog. A hypertype is something I would never, ever breed. It's a boxer. Boxer is hypertype. They're absolutely useless. Okay, and then you could go on. So we covered that one, Joe, on that one.
Yeah. Now, Tony, that passage out the Kohler book, I can't find it.
Let me see if I can find it real quick.
You tell me what page, or send it to me.
Let me look for it right now.
Okay.
You can read the next question, and I'll try to look and read at the same time.
Okay. How does he handle kennel blindness? Hey, everybody, get the likes up, share the chat. We got 75 people here. Let's get it up to 100. It's usually 100 when Tony come on. Let's get it up to 100. Like and share.
Okay, so how does he handle kennel blindness?
Mm-hmm.
It's something that you can't have. You can't have kennel blindness. A lot of people do have it. Unfortunately, they have serious kennel blindness, and they think just because they bred it, it's perfect, and they'll make you think it's perfect. They'll make themselves think they're perfect. I think that they've tricked their own self in thinking that they're perfect. Kennel blindness is something that if I had it, I'd be 37 years behind. So I'm always going to progress. If somebody that, like somebody like myself, if we hold something back in the program, we're going to hold a male back, or say 2 males and 4 females. If those dogs don't turn out to be outstanding specimens in breed type, health, hips, temperament, everything, if they're not badass dogs, they're getting cut. They're going to go to a family home. Going to tell a person, hey, listen, just didn't turn out what we would be willing to put in the program. Still better than half the dogs or 80% of the dogs in the country that these breeders are using, but it's not my caliber. It's not my standard, and we cut them. So we cut stuff. Smart people cut dogs, and you can't have kennel blindness. So here's how kennel blindness works. This is one of my opinions how kennel blindness works. It's not an opinion, it's a fact. So a lot of people don't have a lot of room to keep a lot of dogs or don't want to pay the money to feed a lot of dogs. My dog food bill every month is $2,800 to $3,000. People don't want to pay that. They don't want to spend that. It's not something they want to entertain. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Some people don't make that much in a month. Mm-hmm. So it, but it pays for itself. This is how I've been doing it for many years. So some people raise a dog, they're male, in their home. It's their family dog, and they got him to breed. They're going to breed this dog, and he turns out terrible. He turns out with a long muzzle, with a scissor bite, with cherry eyes, double cherry eyes, and a top line that looks like a sliding board, and cowhawked, tons of faults, and they still use the dog, and they said the dog's great. It's the greatest dog. Are they blind? Is it kennel blindness, or is it just simple ignorance? To me, kennel blindness is really ignorance in a shape of, it's not kennel blindness. It's ignorance, that they're ignorant enough to look at that and say, I'm going to utilize this. They utilize it because it's all they have. They utilize that stud dog because they don't want to go stud to a quality dog. They utilize that female that's terrible in breed type, that's got mental issues, she's unstable. They use it because it's what they have and what they bought or what they held back. That's not what you're supposed to do. So kennel blindness is a huge thing in how to run a breeding program and how to not run a breeding program. Everything that revolves around kennel blindness is how not to run a breeding program. You know what I mean, Joe? There's people that are out there like, and I don't want to say names, but there's the one guy on there that was telling you he wanted to challenge me to do a podcast like that other knucklehead did. I would eat him up and destroy him. I looked at his page, his top stud dog male, top line's horrific. Eyes you could put 2 quarters in them. muzzle's long as hell. I mean, he's terrible. Top line, the rear angles, or he doesn't have any. Straight and stifle, turned into hawk. It's a pet. It's worse than a pet, and it's his top stud dog. So that's kennel blindness. You know what I mean? We can address it like that, without saying any names. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't want to put pictures up. I have the pictures of all those dogs in case he was ever dumb enough to do that. We were going to go on, and I was just going to have you start showing pictures and ask him, "Hey, man, this is your number one stud dog. Can you tell me all the good qualities of this dog?" And he probably would have started telling me shit. He's going to watch this, I'm sure, because he's one of your guys that watches. He's not going to probably want to do the podcast after this, and he's going to go reevaluate his dog, which he should go reevaluate his dog. It's not something. He got a beautiful kennel he put up. Nice indoor-outdoor facility, badass. But he ain't got a dog worth breeding in the program. Nothing I seen on his page was worth breeding. But he's producing puppies like crazy. It's puppy mill.
Right. Savita says, or are they ignorant in type also? They might not just be.
And that makes sense, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, some of the people are ignorant in type, meaning that they think that type is correct. So they're ignorant that they don't educate themselves to realize that's not correct. It's not even remotely close to what a Corso should look like. Ignorant in type would be the people that have that Rottweiler looking stuff. Ignorant in type would be the people that have those boxers. Ignorant in type would be that somebody that has a male that's biconvergent that's going to use it. They're ignorant in type. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Javier says another way to not have kennel blindness is having your dogs shown.
Here's the thing with that. So in a way, it is a way to not have kennel blindness, to have your dog shown. Like I said, I've produced more champions than anybody in the world. But just having your dog shown and getting a championship, unfortunately, it's a very unfortunately, and I'm going to be honest and tell the truth, if you put your dog with a good handler and, a professional handler that's known, you could champion a Labrador Retriever in a Corso ring. So unfortunately, it doesn't mean just because you get a champion on your dog that it's a nice dog. I've seen tons of champions that are terrible. And, they won because a handler drug it around show to show, and their buddy, the judge, decided to put them up. You know what I mean? So it's unfortunate. So that it means a lot to put them out there. So here's the thing, what I tell people. You're not going to see me or breeders like myself put a dog in the ring that isn't badass, that doesn't deserve that championship. We have a reputation to uphold. You know what I mean? A lot of these other people, they're not trying to uphold a reputation. Like I just said, the one lady that put the black dog with the brindle points in there, it's your reputation got destroyed on that. And she's a nice lady, man. I hate to say, I'm not going to say names, but her reputation is destroyed. All the breeders and people that she thinks she's close with, and even the handlers are laughing at her. They're making a joke of her. It's terrible, man.
Right.
It's not smart.
Okay, let me get to this next one. Good morning, broski. That's Anthony Tosco, my brother from another mother. What is the sequence of selection Tony takes to ensure the proper individuals go to proper home? Hold on. There are master breed. So these a lot. This is a lot right here.
It's big, yeah. Break it in maybe paragraph by paragraph or something.
Okay. So let's see here. There's a master breed, so they tend to have larger flues, dewlaps. Does it necessarily mean just because they have larger flues that they will automatically drool more? No. I know. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'll just answer your questions quick because it's a big one. Anything real important. So no, it doesn't mean they're automatically going to drool more. It's a dry mouth dog supposed to be. It's not a wet mouth dog like your Bordeaux. Do we want to see large flues and loose skin? No, hell no. Nobody wants to see that. It's not what the breed's supposed to have. Go ahead.
He says in his third paragraph, he liked some of the smaller individuals in your program. And have you ever seen individuals that would go hunting, working home, where they would use hunting where there's coon, boar, protecting farm, animal protection?
Yeah, I've had dogs out there that hunted all kind of animals.
Right,
Not what I breed for. I don't breed for them to go do it. A good bred dog can do almost anything that the breed's supposed to do. A well-bred dog could go into a daycare and play with kids and go on the police force and be a police dog, the same dog. A well-bred dog could do all those things. A well-bred dog could go on a personal protection program, be an estate guardian, and go into go into a children's birthday party and socialize with everybody.
Right. But Tony, you probably don't know this on the internet. It's a big, it's purist. It's like in the real world,
right?
A good breeder breed for the total dog,
right? Exactly.
On the internet, it's working our show.
Yeah, and that's wrong. That's wrong.
Yeah. It's an
wrong.
internet thing.
Wrong.
Right.
If you can only breed a dog that's going to work, but it has terrible structure and doesn't look like the breed,
Right.
you're not breeding a Cane Corso. If you're breeding a Cane Corso that can just go in the show ring and is scared to death to go work, you're not breeding a Cane Corso either. So you can't just pick one. They got to be able to do it all. They have to be able to go in the show ring and go in a working ring, do bite work, go into a family home, protect the family, go walk through the mall and be confident and stable enough to do that. It's an overall dog. It's got to be quality all the way around. And you're right, Joe, though. I do see that. There's too many people out there that they choose one or the other because here's the thing. It's easy to do one. It's not easy to do all.
Right.
People that don't want to work, they don't want to work.
Because people want to plant their flag on something that they do.
That's it. And it's not
just time to hog hunt.
Right. No, nobody's doing that.
Right.
People aren't out there doing it. You might have 3 people or 5 people that are doing it. There's other breeds out there that are hog hunters that are incredible at it. Right. But that's what they do. Let them do it.
Right.
Why do you want to get a Corso out there into it, doing it, to show somebody that they can hog hunt so you can sell one to somebody that hog hunts? They don't want your Corso anyway. Those people that are hog hunt want proven lineage that are hog hunting dogs that have hunted for the last 30 years, 40 years, decades of it, not the random guy that did a Corso. There's millions of Corsos we can take out there and go hog hunt. Tons of them. But nobody gives a shit to do that with this breed, to go prove it, generation after generation. You got 20 years in proving something.
Right.
It's not something that breeds, could they do it? Yeah, they could do it. Corso is capable of doing a lot of things, man. It's one breed that is capable of doing a whole lot of things, man.
Right.
A good one, confident, stable one.
Javier said Diamond Grid is doing it. Yeah, Diamond Grid is doing it. But like Tony said, everybody ain't doing it. I don't know a lot of, I'm going to catch some flack for this one. Clip it. I'm telling my editor, clip this one.
What is Diamond Grid? I don't even know what that is. What's that
Diamond
mean?
Grid, he's been on my show. He's down in Florida.
What's he breeding?
Cane Corsos. He does.
Corsos.
He hog hunts with them. So
mainly Corsos or other breeds?
I think he got some curs. You got to have the curs.
Okay, right.
The Corso is going to hold the dog.
Okay, so he's got some Corsos working with his pack.
You got to have, you got to have the curs.
Right.
But the Corso is just to catch and hold it.
I understand.
That's it. Just like the Dogo.
Right.
But this is my thing, Javier. A lot of guys ain't gonna pay $4,000, $5,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 and go put it on a hog. Just be honest.
No, they don't want to get killed and get with a Tuscan killer.
To be honest,
for $400.
Yeah.
$400 or $500.
Yeah. So everybody got a lane. Somebody gonna be doing a show. It's gonna be one of us guys that got a Corso that's doing hogs. It's gonna be another guy doing this and that. Yeah, it is an outlier in every situation, but for the majority of this, I ain't seen a lot of hog hunting Cane Corsos.
Very rare.
Yeah. So let's go to the next one.
If
here.
It's somebody's niche, they got to take it and run with it. But remember, that's their niche, and that's it. It's going to be them.
It's going to be them.
It'll be something I'd be interested in. Hell no, not at all. I have no interest.
Right.
Nothing against it. It's a great thing for people. It's a sport. It's a sport for them.
That's
it's a great thing. You can't knock a sport. It's like fishing. I like to fish. I'm not going to hunting boars. I wouldn't give a shit if I have the best line of dogs who can go hunt boars. I'm not putting my dog out there to go hunt a boar. For what reason? And it's just, I would risk my dog getting killed. I'm not into it. And that's just my personal opinion. Nothing wrong with it though.
Yeah. And that's exactly who I took what I said this from, Kaya Buchanan, because he talks about it all the time.
Right on the money.
Most people aren't going to spend thousands on a breed to get a dog killed of any breed.
No chance.
That's just the truth.
They want $200-300. That's it.
Right.
Or breed them themselves and take them out there and work them. There's a lot of dogs hunting hogs that aren't even purebred dogs that are the best hog hunters there are. It's a sport. It's something that people enjoy. Why are we even trying to prove Corsos could do it unless somebody's trying to find a niche to sell their dogs? Most people with any sense, if you said, hey, I got these 2 hog hunting Corsos and they show them with blood and ripping, a hog apart, who the hell wants those? The puppies, man. Unless you're doing that shit, you don't want that. You'd be scared to death it's going to attack your neighbors' kids. You know what I mean? Or the neighbors' dogs.
Mm-hmm. Right. Let's see here. Okay, we got that one. Okay, let me load up another one. I think we about at the end. You know what, man? That's all I'm gonna take from that damn them recorded ones. Let me ask my damn question, Tony. So we running out of time here. Then I got to get their questions in. So this is what I wanted to ask you about. Hold on, sir. Let me just remove a few things down here. See, a lot of people don't know, man. I got to work when I do these live shows. I be working. Man. Okay, so bam, share screen. This dog. Bam. Let me see. Hold up. What y'all see on my screen? Okay. Hold on, y'all. Let me just straighten this out right quick. Share screen. Stop screen. Let me share. I'm trying to pull up a dog. Share screen. That one. Bam. You see this dog here, Tony?
Shit, I can't.
It's Mojo.
Okay, Mojo. Okay.
Valley Mojo.
Okay.
So Tony, it ain't a lot of requests for breeders on my channel.
Okay.
Except and then you number one, and then my crowd is different. Who they respect too is Cologne, Carlos.
Okay. Right.
And I know, see, when I call you a walking history book, I know you probably know this dog here.
I know the dog. I know all about the dog.
Tell us about this dog right here.
Here's what I can tell you, man. Carlos Cologne is a really, really good guy. Great guy, great working guy. Here's what people don't know. You got all these new guys out there that are working Corsos. All these people that are working their dogs, and Tony's dogs don't work. Tony don't know nothing about work. I'll pull up videos and pictures and shit for you, Joe. We'll put on a podcast. I was working dogs long before these people even knew what a Corso was. I worked Rottweilers, full bite work, protection work, body suits, all of that, both sides of it. I can be the decoy and I can control the dog, train the dog to do all that stuff. Do I do it for other people? Absolutely not. It's dangerous. It's, there's liability issues with that. Could I do it? Absolutely. Did I have many, many dogs that did bite work? Tons of them. I got sleeves and everything still here. I sold my suit. I don't keep the suit anymore. It's something that I don't do a lot, but Carlos was incredible with that stuff. So, it's a great thing. So the dog Mojo is an incredible dog. I got a story that's even in depth, even further, and I could tell it. Carlos is a good dude. He's not going to get offended. I have that dog Mojo in all kind of my pedigrees, and people don't even know it.
Pick up your pedigrees.
People don't know it.
Yeah,
they don't know I have that dog in all kind of my pedigrees, man.
Uh-huh.
Many years ago, I seen Carlos at a show one time, and he come over and say, "Hey, man," he's smiling, and we were cool as hell. He's a really good dude, like close. He comes over and he's, "Hey, man," he's like, "You were trying to get this dog, weren't you?" I said, "Yeah, no, I passed though. I passed." He's like, "What do you mean you passed?" I said, "Well, I didn't. I passed. I didn't buy him. I was gonna buy him." He said, "Man, that's not true. You couldn't come up with the money." I said, "I had all the money." I said, "What do you mean I couldn't come up with the money?" He said, "Well, man, Sherby told me that it's the first one with the money gets the dog." I said, "Man, that's the same kind of con artist bullshit all these people do, man." I said, "Did Sherby happen to tell you that because there was this big hip bullshit thing going on way back then that I paid for that dog's OFA to be done? And he took him to the vet and I was only buying him with a good OFA score?" No. I said, "He didn't tell you that." I said, "I bet he didn't tell you that." I said, "He lied to you, man." I said, "I had all the money." He failed. Dog failed his OFA. Now, here's the catch. Here's what I can tell you on that dog. That dog was extremely, extremely athletic. He was older when this got done. Carlos, that dog would jump in and out of his pickup truck from a standstill. That dog was extremely, extremely athletic, man. Do I think that he had bad hips? I think they might have been a little loose, but I don't think they were bad. So here's the thing. I was the president of the breed club back at that time. We had this recommended breeders list where you had to have a certain percentage of dogs on that list to be on the recommended breeders list that were all, hip tested and health tested. They had a small percentage when they first came out with the list. It was like 50%. I did my whole kennel. I did 100%. I didn't want to do 50%. So because of that, I didn't buy the dog. I was always kind of sick about it because I loved the dog. He had a great head, great temperament, would work, confident, fearless, the perfect dog to match up with all my stuff because mine was the same type of dogs. So, I met him down there bullshitting. He did some work with him. And here's what happened. He was talking about doing some bite work, and he had the dog with me. And, I'm petting him. And my one buddy, another buddy of mine, Greg, good dude. He had a dog that was working a little bit, but he was new into it. He didn't know what he was doing. So, he come over with his dog. Ho, man, keep him back there. He's like, what the hell, man? You don't let my dog come around, but Carlos, he walks right over to you. You don't care because Carlos knows what he's doing, and Carlos's bloodline is safe and stable. It's not unstable. That thing you're working with over there, it's unstable, man. Don't ever bring it around me. Just don't walk by me with it. So Carlos is a good dude, man. I have that dog in my pedigrees, and I'll tell a little depth or something that people don't know. People talk about I never imported. We see all these people talk about that. These new people. I imported more dogs than anybody in the country or the world to any other country has done. I just don't talk about it. I don't have it all over my website. I don't even have a website. I don't put it all over my Facebook. It's not my job to give anybody the key to my success. Nobody gives you the key to success. You know what I mean? Like McDonald's didn't tell you how they make their sauce, the super sauce. They ain't telling you that. So here's the deal. One person in my life, my buddy Dennis, good dude up in Michigan. And he's the only one that ever caught on. He's studying pedigrees. And I always, I educate people, tell them, study pedigrees, pay attention. It's not just what's behind it. It's not just mom and dad. It's mom, dad, grandpa, grandma, great-grandpa, on both sides of the pedigree. My pedigrees, when you look at my pedigrees, it's badass all the way through. There's no average Joes. There's no average Joes back there. It's all badass. You look at some of these other people's pedigree, okay, they got one badass dog. But man, the father sucked. The mother actually sucked. Where'd he come from? And then you look at the other side of the pedigree, there's nothing good in these backgrounds. Why do these people don't have the consistency that I have? Because they didn't pay attention to that. They just bred what they saw phenotypically in front of them and thought this is what they liked, but there was no phenotypically behind that or genotypically behind that for generations. But that's a badass dog, man. He's a great part of history in this breed. I'll tell you another crazy story that people started about that dog. Carlos been breeding that line, and that's all he breeds. He don't mess with nothing else. Very few dogs will he ever attempt to have messed with. That dog was clean as hell health-wise, no issues, line bred, inbred, everything. He did it all. Father, daughters. If you're getting hit with any kind of problems, it's coming out. He didn't get banged up with hip dysplasia. So that's why I don't think that even that OFA might have said that it wasn't good. OFA is one person, subjectional view of how they looked at it and felt that it was going to read. I regret that I didn't do pen hip on that dog. Pen hip is accurate. Pen hip is a science. OFA, one guy looks at it. If he doesn't like it, just tosses it to the side. It wasn't like he was bad. It wasn't passing, but it was just some mild dysplasia because of laxity or some shit. I couldn't take it and use it because I would have got criticized and ripped apart. Do I regret that? I do, because I wish I would have had him. But I knew what he did, and I knew how he worked. So, I crossed up a lot of my stuff into that. There's a buddy of his that bought a dog off of him. It was a Schutzen 3 dog, a badass dog. Schutzen 3 titled. Guy's a good guy. He was at my kennel, and he's, man, listen, your stuff is immaculate. You know what you're doing. Man, can I send my dog up to you? You handle it. You show it. You get the championship. While it's there, you could breed from it. I said, hell yeah, you can. And he wasn't the best dog structurally. He had a little weak in the top line, but he was a big bone, healthy, great head on. He was right out of Mojo, man. So I have that, and I've created some stuff with that, crossed up with some of my Grand Champion stuff, great working dogs, put those together. And now, even to this day, right now, I'm tying up like the 1-2 Dennis looked at the pedigree. He's like, yeah, man. He goes, I see what you do. I see this lion breed stuff you're talking about. You got some lion breed Nino. You got Nino in there a couple of times. I see him like 2-3 times. I said, yeah, no, a real healthy dog, man. He was just great dog. Went back to Grand Champion Nero, Grand Champion Mocha Manola, the import male new. He said, yeah, no, I studied all that. He's like, and he's sitting there. He's like, I seen something else. I said, oh, what do you mean? What are you talking about? He's like, you got some of this Mojo line bred in there. I started laughing. I said, you saw that, huh? He said, yeah, I saw that. I said, you're the first person in the last 15 years that ever caught that? So then he's looking deeper, and he's like, man, you got some Tito back here, lion bred. I said, I got a lot of badass shit lion bred is what I got. So I don't just have my stuff lion bred. I got other people's badass dogs from overseas, the dog Tito lion bred. I got that dog right there, Mojo lion bred. What I was telling you about, one of the things they tried to assault that dog, some people tried to, because he was a great dog, and people like to try to assault on something great. The rumor started going around, oh, yeah, he threw epilepsy. He's an epilepsy carrier. If that dog was an epilepsy carrier, every single thing that Carlos was producing would be carrying epilepsy. He's never had it. Never had it in 12, 15 years. Dog's not a carrier. Doesn't have issues. I've line bred off it already. Line bred on it. Put it in pedigrees 3 times. 0 issues. I won't lie. 1 issue. And everybody knows it that knows the breed. Once in a while, when you work with that line, you'll get to crypt orchid, you'll get to one testicle sometimes.
Okay.
Something's common in that line. So,
Right.
Try not to, if you multiply on it too much, you're going to see it. This is something beyond people will understand. You got to be a real breeder to understand this in depth. And even 70%, 80% of your breeders now that got websites, they don't even understand those terms, what I just said.
Right.
They don't know.
Yeah. And that's why a lot of times in a really good breeder said you cannot breed these dogs on your own because you don't know what's in the
clue.
Yeah, you got to know what you're doing. Yeah.
They got no clue, man. Here's the problem. Here's a positive for me. So 37 years is not a fabricated number. 37 years, I busted my ass and mentally studied the hell out of every single line in this country, in the world, whether I had it and worked with it, which I worked a majority of it, or some friends of mine got it and worked with it, and I seen the problems and weeded through it all, man. Just weeded through it all. So everybody can, all these new people come in and they're going to outdo me and they're going to outdo my people that are close with me. They ain't going to outdo them. Good luck. It ain't going to happen. I have a proven recipe. You know what I mean? So very proven recipe. Even these people from overseas, a lot of people are sending stuff over here. Some of these people from overseas that are, they're looked at as these big world-renowned new breeders. They've been breeding dogs 6 years or 8 years. What they don't even know themselves is some of the lines they're working with are some of the most epileptic bloodlines in the country. The difference is they're not going to stand behind their dogs. When people are getting problem dogs from these people, hip dysplasia loaded, they're not giving them replacements. They're screwing them over.
Right.
So these people don't, some of these new people, and they're having some success in the ring. They don't even know what they're working with, man. They know how to put a good website together, put a little package together, pay some handlers to go in the ring and show the dogs and get some champions. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's what it takes. But, what I hope to see these people do, and I know who they are and I would never name those people, I'd like to see and hope that they start cleaning their stuff up. They know what they're getting hit with. They know what they've sold. I know what they've sold to people. Clean it up. Try to move on and better your breed, better your production. If they don't, in 5 years, they won't be around. And I've seen that hundreds of times. Guys come involved and they're the top breeder in the world. They claim to everybody 4 years, 5 years, 8 years. And then all of a sudden on 10 years, it's sayonara. They're just disappearing because they owe 50 replacements and they got drugged through the mud and they can't hide from it anymore.
Yeah.
They go find something else to do.
All right, Tony, I told you I was going to let somebody in to come talk to you.
Okay.
So he finna come check you.
Okay. Uh-oh. What's going on, man?
He sold me a bad dog, Joe.
Tons of them, Joe.
I'm sick of it. So y'all chose violence on a Saturday night, huh? Y'all
Nothing's been violent at all yet.
No, ain't nothing happy yet.
Hey, I seen a link. I was actually in the bowling alley. I ran out to the car. I said, "Oh, they starting trouble again."
Oh shit!
Yes,
let's. I'm glad Lamont's on. Let's speak of a real dog. So when we're talking about these people are asking about traditional dogs and stuff. So here's the catch: a traditional dog, a real traditional dog, that's a real badass dog, that's got character, that's confident as hell, balls to the wall, fearless. That not many people could work with. That man right there can work with it. So we're talking about
what I always ask is, how do they know what a traditional Corso was and they came into the time when the Corso had been watered down?
Right. They don't even know.
And that's always my question is, like you were saying a minute ago, how long have you been in it? Well, I've been in it for a long time. A guy called me today and said he's been in it forever, and he's 8 years in.
You didn't know? You didn't know 5 years was forever?
Yeah, he said I've been in 8 years, Lamont. I've been in forever. I said, well, how many how many generations are you in? Because he said I'm in my second generation. I said, well, just keep going, brother. You got
working.
Yeah, you got a little to learn. Got a little to learn.
Yeah.
So Tony, I do have something to ask you though. I hadn't got a chance to call you here lately, but what I've been seeing, and I send a lot of people to you when they say show.
Right.
What I've been seeing, and not just in the state of Texas, but in several states, people almost handpicking their where they show.
Right. I got
Because
you.
they know that there aren't going to be strong
Right. Competition.
adversaries in the ring. Whereas, and correct me if I'm wrong, years back, people took their dogs where they knew they were going to have strong competition.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
One of the main shows they had every year was the ICCF show.
Exactly.
Because if you came to the ICCF show and you won, you had a bad joke.
Yeah. Yep.
Because it was great judges there first.
Exactly.
Start with the judges that knew the dogs.
Exactly.
And then the best of the best came.
Right.
Now I see a lot of people run into the same shows that there's no weak competition in. They run their points up. They're trying to get to Westminster,
Right.
or they're trying to grand champion, so they could automatically say, "Well, he's great. Give me 5,000 a pup. Give me 7,500 a pup."
Yeah.
And the dogs that
never be bred.
Yeah, and the dogs that they're beating should have never touched the show ring in the first place.
Right.
So when you actually are sending a dog to someone and it's truly for show, I'm being messy, y'all.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you sell a show dog at 8 weeks old?
So here's what I tell people. Like, a lot of people do different things with show. And you know how I am. Same with the working. Same with anything, you've ever got from me. I give a guarantee. So if somebody says, I want a show dog, I want to go in and be able to win, I want you to win too. I don't want to see you lose. I don't want you to lose. So I'll pick something out and I'll tell you that, hey, listen, this is a badass puppy. One of the best I've seen, something that I'm extremely confident in that could go in the show ring. If for some reason this puppy would fall apart, develop any kind of, faults or something that we don't want to see it in the ring, I'm going to replace the dog. I know you'll do that. Most people won't do that.
Absolutely.
They don't want to stand behind the dogs. They just want to send it to them. And most other people, and I've seen it happen, all kind of people, and people call me, hey, man, I really made a mistake. I went with somebody else. I said, well, I mean, it's not a mistake. There's other good people out there. Well, no, here's the problem. I got this dog, man, and it's terrible. There's nothing nice about it. They sold it as a show dog, and I'm talking to them about getting my replacement, and they're like, we're not Tony Scandy. We don't replace dogs for that. You got a prospect. If it didn't turn out, you can buy another one. I don't agree with that. If you buy a dog from me that's supposed to be a show dog that I guarantee you is going to go out there and kick ass, if it falls apart, you're getting another dog. I want you to kick ass. I don't want embarrassed. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's all.
Hey, I got both of y'all here. This is going to be a good question for the both of you. The word aloof. Chi-Town in the house. What's happening? Tony has said before he hates the word aloof for strangers in the Cane Corso standard. What words would Tony use to replace them in the standard?
There's zero word to replace that in the standard. There's no place for that in the standard. Here's the problem. These people put that word in the standard, aloof with strangers. It's to hide their unstable, basket case, skittish dogs, and to be able to use that word in the standard to lie to all their clients that call them bitching and complaining that their dog's a basket case and that they socialize the hell out of it. And the dog pisses itself, shits itself, runs to the corner, hides in the crate. Like Joe's laughing, but he knows, right? You've seen one, Joe. You had one. You had one before.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I ain't gonna never buy no dog from nobody but these two, because I took my ass out of the circle and got burnt. And y'all keep calling his name Saladin in the comments. That's who I got burnt by. He directed me to one of his boys, and boy, they got me. No Vaseline.
Hey, what was I able to do when you read me the pedigree? What'd I tell you?
Told me everything it was doing. My wife was over there with her mouth open.
What'd she say? She want to know if I could see in your house somehow.
Yeah, for real.
Pedigrees don't lie, man. Pedigree.
Everybody know that. If your Corso looking at you like this, get rid of it.
It's called fear, unstable. But they'll bite though, Joe. They'll bite though, man.
Yeah, they'll bite your ass. Yeah,
they'll bite because they're scared to death. They'll bite everything around them, including kids.
And somebody in the comments keep talking about Saladin said it's supposed to look like a Rottweiler. And
nobody in the world.
I would tell you, go ahead and buy a dog from him, bro. You'll find out.
Nobody in the world should listen to Saladin. The man's not been involved in the breed. He lived in his mother's basement and started a podcast. That's it. He's never really had the breed. If he had anything, a couple of them garbage dogs from way back, He's not educated in this breed, man. Why? Because he had a podcast longer than anybody, or 20-something years or whatever.
Actually, yeah,
He
he
was
was
the only
doing
one
it
that
first.
had time to sit in his basement and do that shit. He's nobody, man. He's
Go
never
ahead.
done jack shit in the breed.
Yeah.
Here's what for all the Solidine people, here's what you do. Go find one fucking thing, one thing that he's ever done in the breed. One working dog, one champion, anything. He's never done shit. He shouldn't be talked about. His name shouldn't come out of anybody's mouth.
Yeah.
He's
Go.
nobody.
Go ahead and get one.
Talk to your neighbor. Put your neighbor's name out there. He's got more respect.
Yeah.
The dude's done nothing, man. And no disrespect to Mike Satilli Jr., but same thing, man. Talking about Mike Satilli Jr., another guy on the podcast, cool ass dude. We talked to him the other day, the Doberman guy. Putting Mike Satilli Jr. on the podcast. Joe, please don't ever do it. It's an embarrassment. He's a cool dude, but he's never been involved in the breed for the last 25, 30 years. His father passed. He's never had him, man. The last time I talked to that guy, he called me, and I tell people the story, 25 years ago or so, maybe 27, to sell me, want to know if I wanted to buy a litter of Corsos, and he told me that the father was a pit bull, the mother was a Neapolitan Mastiff. I said, well, you want me to do what? Well, yeah, that's what my dad did. I said, dude, man, call somebody else with your crazy shit. He was down in Murfreesboro, Tennessee at a Neapolitan Mastiff breeder's house. David Carpenter. The guy's name was David Carpenter. He had a badass Neo called Turco Del Lanano or some shit. Was a badass Neo. Dude had some badass Neos. Bred a Neo to a pit bull, and that was a litter of Corsos he wanted to sell me. It's not even a Corso. I mean, that's how they did these breeds back then. So, like I like the dude, but he's not somebody that should ever speak on this breed. You've not been there. You've done nothing. And people can talk shit. There's people that are going to talk shit about me, like those people. I've been there 37 years, morning, noon, night. Some nights sleeping 3 hours, some nights sleeping 4 hours. Hands in, whelping pen, all these different bloodlines. I worked with them all. So all these people can say what they want to say about lions. They don't even know nothing about the lions they're talking about. I had my hands on all that shit. I'm a perfectionist. I want the baddest shit in the world. Lamont's the same damn way. Joe, you're the same way. How did I get there? Sifting through all that bullshit. If any of that shit was any good, if it was any good, 1%, 10% good, I'd have it. I got rid of all that shit. Some stuff I have in the line still way back. The Armani stuff, Giorgio stuff, that was some badass stuff. But that wasn't that old shit that they're talking about. Wasn't that stuff. You know what I mean? That was some different stuff through Rosario Paisano stuff, crossed in with the import dog new. You know what I mean? Just bred the right way. All that old garbage, I don't have none of that shit, man. None of that Neo, Rottweiler, Pit Bull crossed up shit. It was garbage, man. It was garbage then. It's garbage now. It's not the breed.
Tony, not to cut you off, I always tell Joe this. I said, Joe, I know a lot of the old men that have been in the breed, and the reason why they're okay with me is because I protect their secrets.
Because I know where you're going with this. Because a lot of trainers run into trouble with certain Cane Corsos, right, Lamont?
Right.
And so being that you're a trainer, they come to you a lot, but you're a breeder too, and you know the lines.
I know the lines. So a lot of my situation is that one of the questions I ask, if it's a really good one, I ask where they get them from, because I usually can kind of pinpoint certain pedigrees with certain characteristics. When they bring me a bad one, I also can pinpoint where some of these are. And what I do is I never will talk about necessarily a breeder or his program. I'm big on letting his dog speak for him.
They speak.
So they speak. And the thing about it, I don't crucify them.
Right.
I'm just straightforward with my clients because I have to be.
Right.
It's not about the breeder at that point. It's about how can I help this family if they say, hey, Lamont, this is our baby. We need it. We got to get the best out of it. Well, let's turn shit into sugar. And we work our butts off to be able to get the best we can out of it. But then at the end, when they ask those in our consultation and they tell me what's going on, then when they come back to pick the dog up, and we have to have that bare bone, deep, truthful conversation, I have to give them the truth. because that's just how I'm built, right? And it's not always environmental. Some things are environmental. Some people do ruin really good dogs.
It can
but
happen.
most times it's something in that dog that is just unstable. And its environment didn't help it any. So what we try to do is we try to turn the environment around in order to balance the bad shit in it to get the best out of the dog, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. Like I always say, Lamont, here's the thing, and this is what Whitney always says too, like, and she's dealt with it and she learned it. So all the work that you're doing, you're helping out, you're not fixing. That shit's not fixable, you're modifying. It's modified. That's all. So
it's almost like a dog that won't bite, but you repetition. Now it'll bite the sleeve, but you're still not the natural instincts to protect. You're not putting it in that dog. You're repetitioning it in that sense.
You're making it do something.
There you go. So it's unfortunate to where we are. My kennel partner James Curvin, we train so many Corsos a year. It's really hard pressed to find anyone that trains as many Corsos as we do on a monthly, weekly, consistent base. But we sat and talked, and if we get, on an average, we get 8 to 12 dogs a month. Out of that, if we go on the low end, if we get 8, we're pushing getting 1 to 2 good ones now out of our 8.
Right, I got you.
Is the standard for us or where we set a little higher than most? Yes. But why shouldn't it be? Why should we set the standard low when these are dogs that are in the community and families with children and those type of things? I feel people keep wanting to drop the bar so it's not a disappointment versus keeping the bar high and saying, no, damn it, you got to come up here.
I want to answer that comment, Joe.
Hey, Tony, let me go first on this.
Yeah.
If you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, he was first, bro. But I know we live in a society where everything has to be first, but that don't mean he was right. I had firsthand experiences listening to those YouTube videos and
because you brought them to my attention. I'm gonna tell them you brought them to my attention. And you gave me some things, and I pointed out some things. So you didn't talk bad about him. Yeah. You did.
Said hip dysplasia, and I dealt with that. And you didn't tell me about. And he told me about temperament. He told me it's gonna be skittish, but you told me you said hip dysplasia. I dealt with both of them.
Let me chime in. I hate to talk bad about anybody.
Yeah, we're not trying to talk bad, but we try.
But I'm going to talk bad. Here's the reality. This is my passion. This is my love for the last 37 years of my life, morning, noon, and night. I don't respect people like that. People like that are in this shit to try to con and scam people, to sell puppies that they're breeding off of shit that shouldn't be bred. I have no respect for them. There is no respect for that. Saladin is not respectful because he's the first one to go to YouTube. He's the first one and one of the only ones that sat in his mother's basement and didn't have no other life but to go to YouTube because of the shit he did in life. And I'm going to leave that alone. Tell that person to study up on him. Go study up on him.
Study on Victor Riley.
Pieces of shit like that.
Victor Riley.
Pieces of shit like that, I'll never respect. I'd love to see Saladin at one time.
You're gonna hate that you're defending him.
Yeah, when you find out what a piece of shit he is. Should just say it on here, Joe. Say what he is. Let them know what he is.
Yeah, you'll find out on his own. You're gonna hate that you saying that, bro. And we sit up here. It's not for show. You know, ain't nobody making no money off the show. Bro, you need to quit calling dude name. You really do. You need to stop.
There's no respect. Bro. It's a scumbag.
Oh man, we don't respect that. Period. He don't understand. But anyway, so what is your thoughts on who's this Brian Brown Campagno?
Campagno from overseas was a hell of a dog, man. A working dog out there. There's videos of him jumping over the bulls and shit, stepping on them, driving over them. That's who he's talking about. Was badass, man. The breeder was badass. My buddy Tony Carfagna was over there at his facility, seen those dogs, watched them work. I got old video pictures way back from floppy disk days, the little orange and blue and shit, 20 years ago. I think Tony was over there in the early 2000s. I didn't go with him on that trip, but he went there and visited. He said the dog was off the hook. Blue with the red brindle, the type of dog like Sarge is, like Armani was, that type of dog. Drive, confidence, fearless, stable as hell though. Campagno was one of the best. There's a lot of people out there trying to pretend they got Campagno stuff. They got Campagno stuff watered down by 10. You know what I mean? They don't have that. It was a great dog. The funny thing, a story my buddy Tony told me when he was there, and we'll get Tony on a podcast one time, Joe. He'd be a great person. He was in Italy. He was part of all that way back then. Couple times, spent multiple weeks over there. But he was there with them, and the guy told him, he said, look, man, I'm going to show you. Want to see the Cane Corso, the real Corso? He praised all the brindles. The brindles were the best thing in the world, this and that. He says, now you want to see what all the people buy, the bullshit? And he takes him over to another side of the kennel, the opposite side. It's a bunch of black boxer type dogs. And he said that's the bullshit that he sells to people. That's what they want to buy. They don't want real stuff like this. They don't want this. That's what he had. He had it right there. And it was the black boxer type dog that he had. Nothing wrong with black dogs. There's some badass black dogs. They have to look like a Corso. Boxer type, is the undershot, heavy undershot, the round eyes. But he had some of that stuff. And it was what people were buying. People buying it overseas, different countries. It's what he was selling. But Campagno was a badass dog. No doubt about it.
That's part of my issue too. So, right. So guys, y'all don't, it's different for me. I said, so we might well knock this one out too. Somebody said, it's on Instagram, Tony, so I can't pull it up. Said, why were we, maybe you hating on Gerald? We wasn't hating on Gerald, and we talked to Gerald since then and everything, and kind of explained what was really. So we had a conversation, all three of us, right? As far as my position on it, when I have guests on, I don't defend no other man. And just like with me, when Gerald was going off about me, it's all good. Doug was in there. A lot of the family from NWA was in there. It's not their job to protect me. Don't help me, help the bear. You know what I'm saying? He said what he said. He got off. He told his true thoughts about me. And I'm glad he got it off his chest, right? So I know where I stand with him. And it's all respect. We talked like men afterwards and whatnot. And, we said our thing. And always I have been, as far as with Gerald and his podcast, if he reached out to me for technical issues or asked me why this happened and this or that, or what you think about this and that. So we always bounce ideas. But I never told him, I never try to tell a man what to do with his podcast. I never set up shows for other podcasts. Now it is a podcast I work with, officially, like contract coming out pretty soon. But I have a lot of friends in this gang too. If they need help, no one, you got to give me this. No one has did to collab. Before I came on, nobody has collaborated like I have amongst all breeds. Cane Corso breed, the Cane Corso channel I have, the breed I breed has brought a lot of Cane Corso people, but we brought a lot of other breeds. No one has did the amount of collaborations I have done across all breeds. It's been that way since day one. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing for me. If anybody needs something to me, I'm pretty helpful. I don't care about that. Before it's Gerald's podcast, that's his podcast. I don't set up shows for him, right? So I just wanted to make that clear. And for the blackface comment, I didn't like that one. And I didn't like that the girls got brought up in it. But for the blackface comment, still, no one has made more collaborations with me. I have not attacked any black channels. I see Paige Haas in there cheering it on. I saw you, bro. And that's funny that you called me right when that shit started a couple months ago. And you said some things to me, which I knew that what happened was going to happen because you told me yourself. I looked in your background and you are what you say you are. And I said, yes, I am. And but Paige Haas is a guy that guys like me, Gerald, other guys who have podcasts got to be careful of because they bring a lot of bullshit to try to sway us. Being a podcast, you got to stand on all 10. You cannot let these dudes sway you. You cannot get in the middle of their bullshit like this Paige Haas. But I won't attack Paige Haas, because you can look at the last video he did on his YouTube channel and tell what a clown he is on his own merit. But anyway.
Let me chime in on that too, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of the Doberman guy, somebody, what did they say? They said about like there was
hating on them and
there was zero hate, zero
no
disrespect. There's facts. We spoke to him. I spoke to him. So here's the facts. So let me lay it out again. If somebody didn't understand the facts last time, let me lay the facts out this time. Gerald's a good dude. Nothing against Gerald. Some great podcasts. I've seen some good ones. I saw some comical shit too. I saw some real ass clowns on his podcast of Corso breeders. Some of them you can't even call Corso breeders, and him hype these people up. It's not just a hype show. Podcast shit ain't just a hype show of ass clowns or whoever you're going to hype up. So my issue is not with Gerald. It's with the ass clowns that he interviewed for Corsos. They're not hypeable. There's some of the worst there are. They're not even breeding Corso. Some of them, they're band dog breeders, and he's hyping them up. So the problem that I have is not with Gerald, it's with what he did. This is my breed. This is the breed I love. I'm a passionate about it.
It ain't personal.
It's not personal.
Right.
Anybody that's out there supporting those ass clowns that are horrible for the breed, promoting dogs that aren't even Corsos, they're band dogs, laying it out like, oh, yeah, top Corso breed. Oh, yeah, these guys just all that dumb bullshit. It's no good. It's not good for the breed. It's bad for the breed. It's bad for any other breed they do that with. So I actually was asked by him to do a podcast with him a while back. And I told the girls, hey, listen, I like the dude. I can't be on the show. And they're like, okay. Well, how come, Tony? I said, because he interviewed a bunch of ass clowns, man. I don't want to be a part of that. He's looked at as the guy that's interviewing the jack-offs of the breed. He's not interviewing anybody that's a good breeder, that's educated, that's done anything. These guys that he put on there, you know, they might have dogs tied to a fence, acting like they're going to bite, barking and shit crazy. They ain't never titled shit. They've never done anything. They ain't did a hip x-ray. They don't even got AKC dogs. They're talking about their breeding band dogs, not even Corsos. You can't put those kind of people on your podcast if you want anybody to take you seriously and feel that you have an education. You're just doing that shit for views. That's what separates Joe from everybody out there.
But see, this is the thing too. Me and Gerald have them conversations, like, you know, like who we put on, like when we go after people, this is when you find out about people's different things. Like some guy might not come on because like I seen who you had on and they don't respect it. It kind of comes with the territory, you know what I mean? And this and this and that. But two, being that I chose to be online the last 3 years, I know they're gonna crucify me sometime. I've already been through some of the stuff Gerald went through for us, like having certain guests on.
You got rid of the pod. You got rid of them. You exited out.
Yeah. Look, I had a trainer. I had a dog trainer that somebody vouched for, that the dude wasn't shit. He was hurting dogs, taking people money and shit. I had to pull that shit. I had to pull it. I had to pull up. It's several of them I've pulled.
You got to keep the respect.
It's not only those, because you have to. I don't want to mislead people. You know what I mean? I don't want to put people in trouble. So that's one of the things too about podcasting coming out like, because Tony and these two dudes here don't give a shit about the internet, man. It was hard to get them on. They despise the internet. These two right here, right in our face, man. They don't want to hear no internet. But they start
it for the right reasons, Joe. Despise it because of those clowns like that. So here's the thing.
Right.
You've been asking me for a long time, and you've been right the whole time. I should have listened to you sooner.
Yeah.
We need to get rid of that shit. We need people that are educated to come on here with real education, real history, who really been there and really done something.
Your name was getting used way before you came on the podcast.
Yeah. You got those idiots out there making them idiots famous, and they're terrible, man. And they're taking advantage of people, charging people $7,000-8,000 for a dog that isn't worth $80. That I'd pay you to take it away from my yard. You know what I mean? It's horrible for the breed. So that's why I came forward. You were right. And it's the best thing I've ever done, man.
Yeah. So as far as podcasting, guys, you got to be careful because like there's so many little low level dudes like that it's
They're calling, begging to be on podcasts.
Yeah, and they get.
We got people calling us, begging us to be on their podcast.
Exactly. And they cause a lot of riffs and rap, and a lot of them ain't on that level. And that's another thing too. I mean, I know it's different levels in the game. Everybody I might have on might not be an expert, but I'm not going to tell you they're an expert. I'm not going to tell you they're a great breeder when I know they're coming up. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to take them in deep waters or pump them up. But this is the thing too. This is the thing too. If I'm online, I know I'm gonna be critiqued. I don't want nobody. I know these two dudes right here, Joe. You fucking up. They'll tell me. I don't want no dudes who just hyping me. Let's do this. I'd rather be correct than try to be popular. But I mean, that's how the show has been so much success. So like people knock us on subscriber counts, but you can't knock us on engagement.
But one thing I can give you, I think I've always pointed this out, is a lot of podcasts that we get on or watch, the person that's the podcaster, he comes off as he knows everything. He knows every subject that he's presenting down to the bare bone, right? Mm-hmm. And it's one thing that I always give you is when you do present, you ask questions, and it's like you're learning as much as the people in the audience.
Bro, I'm learning on the fly.
We've always talked about that, like you feel like I'm a student too. That's why I think it works. Just simply put, it works because most of your audience, and I'm gonna say most of them, is their students as well. I have people call me now, and it's shocking. They call me and say, "Hey man, I seen you on NWA." I was like, "Shit, when?" I ain't been on but a couple, and I get a chance to meet people that are really still enthused about the breed, and they just want to simply learn, but they've made a conscious decision not to continue listening to what's been regurgitated by everybody, that it's the same foolishness, over and over and over. And your podcast, and I'm hearing this from them, this is not my words, your podcast has taught them some things that they feel is some substance behind it. It's some concrete things. They mentioned you, they mentioned Tony. They also mentioned trainers. They mentioned people who are doing other breeds, like the guy in Arkansas, Joe, with the
Dogos.
Dogos, there you go.
Brad.
They're mentioning people that you have on. Yes, they have the passion for the Corso, but you're also giving them an outlet to learn other things from other people who aren't just tied to one breed. They're dog people. And that's what the channel is. It's a dog channel. Yes, it's specifically for the Corso because you breed Corsos, but it's also a dog channel, and you can learn so much to it. It's even to the point now where I have people that come to me that might get pups or bring their dogs for training. I say, hey, go to this. It's a good resource for you. Watch some of the things. So when it comes to what you're doing, I told you this a long time ago, they're going to drag you into the internet shit.
Yeah.
It's destined when you're on so long. But sticking with what the foundation of what your purpose was the dog channel, the dog experience, the dog education. Those are the things, as long as you stay true to what you do on each one of these, people are going to continue learning. Your growth is going to be slow and true, because the people that you're going to bring are going to truly bring substance with them. So just keep doing what you're doing. I'll have to admit, I don't watch every show because I got my face in the dirt most times. But the ones that I do, I've seen Gerald, I've seen some other people on there. I don't know them, so I don't really have anything to say about them. Y'all know him a little more in depth. You watch his stuff more than I ever will, because I don't really watch podcasts like that. But if you stay withdrawn from the internet shit as much as possible,
You have
and
to.
continue doing what you're doing, man. The people who log in will continue to learn. They'll continue to get benefit from listening to whoever you may have on here, because the people that you do choose, they're white, they're black, they're men, they're women, and Hispanic, whoever it may be, whatever race, the people you put on here, man, it's substance. It brings substance, and that's what people, when they log on, that's what they want. They don't want Jerry Springer shit. They really don't. They can find it everywhere. That's at their fingertip all day, every day. They want true knowledge of what you do when you have a damn dog, and stay true to that, man, and you'll be fine, and you'll continue to grow, and you'll continue to turn heads in every breed besides just the Corso. And keep people like Tony off your shit, because he's going to ruin you. He's going to ruin you. Hey, but I can tell you this. They might not like him, but they damn sure can't discredit him. So at the end of the day, Miss Betty just sent me a message that I better get my black beat back in there and get the bowling. So y'all take it easy, man. I love you both.
Yes, likewise. All right. Hey, Tony, I think
another good question somebody asked in there. You can ask. It was about something about posture or direction or something. What did it ask? Something about the body movement, posture, quick change of direction or whatever.
Okay,
something like that. I seen something. It was on the screen. I don't know who it was or.
Hold on. Let me see.
I want to just make sure I understand it correct before
I know which one you're talking about. Damn it, I lost it. I think it was for Zavita. What part of the body, the directional change?
Yeah, something like that. Can you put it up there?
Yeah. Where does the dog get quick directional change from? What part of the body?
Part of the body. Quick direction. I'm going to take it. Let me make sure I'm answering them right. I think that they mean like to change direction. If it's going left, going right, or going straight, to cut real fast, quick directional change move.
Right.
I mean, it's every part of the body. I mean, it's the hindquarters, the core, just like a person, you know what I mean? You're changing direction, the core, the front shoulders, the spine, every part of the body's got to be used to change direction. I don't know if there's a specific part he's talking about, but if you got to cut to the left, you're going to use your hindquarters, your core, the spine, the shoulder, every part of the body, the legs.
I think what I hear a lot is some people say it comes from the loin, and I think somebody says the stifle. So
it's everything.
It's
every part of the body. It's not one part. Right. If somebody says it's one part, I think that's wrong.
Okay.
You can't just turn. Think about it. If a dog's running in it and somebody said it's just from the stifle or something, a dog's stifle ain't turning the body. You got to have its shoulders in it. It's got to have its core in it to turn the body. Every part of the body, man.
Right. Okay. All right, Tony. Well, I gotta go to sleep, bro.
You got it, man. You got it.
It was a good show.
An hour and 30.
Hey, I thought it was gonna be more wilder than this, but but it was a damn good show.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Make sure you go to Tony's podcast tomorrow. I think he got an episode dropping. The Cane Corso Academy. Until the next time, we out.
All right, Joe.
Thanks, Tony.
Later, guys.
All right.
Step into the realm of canine wisdom with our podcast, NWA Cane Corsos, where we interview dog men and women from around the globe. Discover their talents and insights on breeding, training, nutrition, and the rich history of dogs. Tune in to the most underrated yet influential dog podcast on social media. Your journey into the dog world starts here.